Welcome to the deep dive. We're diving into quantum computing
Oh,
today,
very cool.
something I know you're super interested in.
Mhm.
And
Oh, yeah.
we've got a lot of great material here, kind of the whole gamut, like from introductory stuff to
Right.
some pretty in-depth explanations. So
Right.
hopefully we can distill the most important ideas and
Sure, sure.
breakthroughs without getting too lost in the weeds.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an exciting field for sure.
Right.
Um, what's so compelling about quantum computing is that it's not just making computers faster. It's really like a completely different approach
Right.
to processing information.
Okay, yeah. So let's jump into that. What makes it so fundamentally different from
Yeah.
the computers, that we use every day?
Yeah. So I think at the heart of it is this difference between bits and qubits.
Okay.
So, the computers we're familiar with, our laptops, our smartphones,
Right.
they all operate on bits, right?
Okay.
Which can be either a 0 or a 1.
Right.
And it's like a light switch, it's either on or off.
Right. It's binary.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. But quantum computers use qubits, and qubits operate according to the kind of mind-bending rules of quantum mechanics.
Right.
And a qubit can be a 0, a 1, or both simultaneously.
Whoa.
And that's thanks to this concept called superposition.
I'm trying to wrap my head around that. It's like saying a light switch can be
Yeah.
both on and off at the same time.
Yeah.
How
It's a very
did
strange concept, but it's real.
Yeah.
You can think about it like a coin spinning in the air.
Okay.
So, before it lands,
Yeah.
it's neither heads nor tails.
Right.
But it's kind of like this blurry combination of
Right.
both possibilities.
Right.
That's kind of what superposition is like, and it allows a single qubit to explore multiple possibilities at once. And that's really
Wow.
what gives quantum computers their incredible potential power.
So instead of processing like information one
Yeah.
bit at a time,
Yeah.
it's exploring a multitude of possibilities like simultaneously.
Precisely. And that's
Yeah.
where the real game changer lies. So you take a problem
Yeah.
like simulating the interactions of molecules, let's say, for drug discovery.
Oh,
A classical computer, has to sort of plod through
yeah.
each possible interaction one by one. And that can, for a complex molecule take
Right.
years or even centuries. It's just not feasible.
Right, because it's limited by that binary system.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But a quantum computer with superposition
Well,
can explore
yeah.
all those interactions simultaneously. It's like running, millions of calculations in parallel.
So it's not just that it's faster, it's that it's
Yeah.
approaching the problem in a fundamentally different
You
way.
get it. It's like the difference between trying to find a specific grain of sand on a beach
Yeah.
by, picking up each one individually versus having
A sieve that lets you sift through them all at once.
Okay, that's a really good analogy.
Yeah.
But superposition isn't the only kind of quantum weirdness
Yeah.
at play here.
Right.
Right. The sources mentioned entanglement too.
Ah, yes, entanglement. Yeah, that's where things get even weirder.
Okay. Yeah.
So when two qubits become entangled, they're linked
Oh.
in such a way that the state of one instantly affects the state of the other,
Okay.
no matter how far apart they are.
So if you change one qubit, the other one changes simultaneously.
Yeah.
Even if they're like miles apart.
Even if they're, across the galaxy.
That sounds like magic.
It really does. It's like,
Yeah.
you have two coins spinning in perfect sync, even if you separate them by a huge distance.
Right.
And this spooky action at a distance is one of the things that makes quantum mechanics so fascinating and so challenging
Right.
to really wrap your head around.
So how does this entanglement thing actually work in a quantum computer? Well, it allows for this incredibly efficient and coordinated computation
right.
across the entire system. So imagine you have a complex problem
Right.
that requires multiple steps.
Yeah.
With entanglement, the qubits can essentially work together as a team,
Okay.
each one influencing the others
Right.
to arrive at the solution much, much faster.
So it's like they're communicating with each other, like instantaneously,
That's a great way to put it.
sharing information, coordinating their efforts.
Yeah, and this interconnectedness
Yeah.
between entangled qubits is another key factor
Yeah.
that contributes to the power of quantum computing.
Okay, so we've got superposition, where qubits can be in multiple states at once,
Right.
and entanglement, where they're linked together
Yeah.
in this spooky way.
Yeah.
What other quantum weirdness is there?
Okay.
There was, I think, interference.
Yeah, quantum interference.
Yeah.
So, imagine you have two waves meeting on the surface of a pond.
Oop.
They can either reinforce each other,
Right.
making a bigger wave, or they can cancel each other out.
Right.
And quantum interference is similar. So in a quantum computer, the different possibilities
Yeah.
explored by the qubits can interfere with each other, either constructively or destructively.
Okay, and so how does that help solve problems?
Well, the way quantum computers are designed,
Yeah.
that interference pattern is set up
Okay.
to amplify the correct answers
Right.
and cancel out the wrong ones.
So it's like fine-tuning its own calculations, making it more efficient.
Yeah, exactly. It's a way of
Well,
leveraging the kind of bizarre rules
yeah.
of quantum mechanics to our advantage.
Okay. This is all incredibly mind-boggling, but I'm starting to see how these quantum principles could
Yeah.
lead to some pretty incredible.
Yeah, and that's what makes this field so exciting, is
Yeah.
that these seemingly bizarre concepts have the potential to
Yeah.
revolutionize so many aspects of our lives.
Okay, so let's talk about that real-world impact.
Yeah,
I know one area that everyone's really interested in is healthcare.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the most promising applications
Yeah.
is in drug discovery. So
Yeah.
imagine being able to simulate the interaction of molecules
Right.
with incredible accuracy, even for very complex molecules.
So instead of spending years and millions of dollars testing different drug candidates in a lab, we could like simulate those interactions on a
Yes.
quantum computer and identify
Yeah.
the most promising candidates much faster.
And that could
Good smart.
significantly accelerate the development of new drugs
Right.
and even lead to, the creation of personalized medicine tailored to an individual's unique genetic makeup.
That would be a game changer.
Yeah.
What about other fields? Where else
So material science is another
could quantum computing make a big difference?
area ripe for disruption.
Okay.
So quantum computers could help us design.
So we're talking about things like super efficient solar panels or
Right.
like ultra strong lightweight materials
Yeah.
for building or manufacturing.
The possibilities are
Yeah.
really endless.
Yeah, and the financial world too, like the potential for
Absolutely.
more accurate financial predictions and
Yeah, quantum algorithms could revolutionize
risk assessments.
financial modeling,
Yeah.
potentially leading to more stable markets and better investment strategies.
Wow. So from like life-saving medications to changing how we design buildings
Yeah, the potential impact is huge.
to managing our money, the potential impact is huge.
It is.
But this all sounds pretty theoretical. Are there real-world
Yeah, this
quantum computers actually doing this yet?
is still in its early stages.
Right.
But there are already some promising examples.
Okay.
So, for instance, researchers have used quantum computers to simulate the behavior of simple molecules. And, that's a far cry from simulating complex drug interactions, but it's a crucial first step.
So we're seeing the first baby steps.
Exactly.
What could be a truly
And those baby steps are happening faster and faster.
revolutionary technology.
Yeah.
Okay, well, before we get too carried away with all this like mind-blowing potential,
Yeah.
I think it's important to take a look at the challenges facing the field.
You're absolutely right. For all of its promise,
Yeah.
quantum computing faces some serious hurdles.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest is building quantum computers that are large
Okay.
and stable enough to really tackle these complex problems we've been discussing.
Right.
Qubits are incredibly sensitive to their environment.
Right.
Maintaining those delicate quantum states is a
Yeah.
huge engineering challenge.
So it's not as simple as just building a bigger computer. It's
Yeah.
like creating this whole new kind of computing environment.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not just about size and stability.
Right.
Another major challenge is error correction.
Okay.
So quantum computers are prone to errors
Right.
because of noise and interference. And so developing robust error correction methods is really crucial.
So it's like trying to like write a message on a
Yeah, right.
chalkboard during an earthquake.
That's a pretty vivid analogy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The slightest disturbance
That highlights
throws everything out.
The delicate nature of quantum information.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so building these machines and making them work reliably is clearly a major hurdle. Are there other challenges
Yeah, there are also some
for me
pretty
to consider?
significant ethical considerations
Right.
that we can't ignore.
Right.
So, who will have access
Right.
to this incredibly powerful technology?
Yeah.
How do we prevent a situation
Yeah.
where quantum computing just widens the gap between the haves and the have-nots?
So it's not just about the science and engineering. It's about making sure this technology is developed and used responsibly.
Absolutely, and that's why it's so important for everyone, not just scientists and engineers to
Right.
have a basic understanding of this transformative technology.
Well, on that note, let's dive a bit
Okay,
deeper
that sounds good.
into some specific examples
Yeah.
from the sources to really help solidify
Sure.
this knowledge.
One of the things that really jumped out at me was the potential
Yeah.
impact of quantum computing on cryptography.
Right. I remember reading about that. Like a lot of our online security relies on
Yeah.
the fact that it's really hard for classical computers to factor large numbers.
Right.
But apparently, quantum computers
And quantum computers could crack those codes
could crack those codes with
with
ease.
ease. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's both a threat and an opportunity. We need to develop new quantum-resistant encryption methods to safeguard our data,
Hmm.
but quantum computing itself
Right.
could lead to unbreakable forms of encryption.
It's almost like this technological arms race
Exactly.
with quantum computers on both sides.
Yeah, and that's just one example of
Yeah.
how quantum computing could really reshape the digital world as we know it.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here from the mind-bending principles of quantum mechanics to
Yeah.
the potential for world-changing applications. It's clear that we're
Okay.
just at the beginning of this quantum revolution.
Yeah, it's a field that's moving incredibly fast.
Yeah. Right.
With new discoveries and breakthroughs happening all the time.
And as we move forward, I think it's crucial that we continue to grapple with the ethical
I couldn't agree more.
challenges and make sure that this technology benefits
Yeah.
everyone, not just a select few.
The future of quantum computing is full of possibilities.
Yeah.
But it's up to all of us
Right.
to shape that future responsibly. Yeah.
Well, let's dig in a little bit deeper now.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
It really does feel like we're on the cusp of something huge, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Like the early days of the internet or the
Yeah.
invention of the transistor.
Yeah, and it's clear that understanding those basic concepts, like superposition, entanglement, interference
Absolutely.
it's crucial to grasping the potential of this.
Yeah, they're the foundation
One revolution.
for everything else we've been discussing.
Speaking of foundations, one thing that stood out in the sources
Yeah.
was the variety of approaches being taken to actually build these quantum computers.
Right.
There was a mention of superconducting qubits, trapped ions, topological qubits.
Right.
It seems like there's no single blueprint for building a quantum computer.
That's right, yeah. There are multiple approaches,
Right.
each with its own strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah.
It's like trying to reach the summit of a mountain. There were different paths you can take.
Right. Each with its own challenges
I like that analogy.
and rewards.
Yeah, so tell me about those different paths. What are the key differences?
Okay, so let's start with superconducting qubits,
Okay.
which are one of the most mature approaches.
Right.
These qubits are essentially tiny electrical circuits
Okay.
that exhibit quantum behavior at ultra-low temperatures.
We're talking colder than outer space, right?
Yeah, we are.
Why are such extreme temperatures necessary?
It's all about minimizing energy loss
Okay.
and maintaining those delicate quantum states
Oh.
of the qubits. So at those incredibly low temperatures,
Yeah.
the electrical resistance of the circuits essentially vanishes.
Right.
And it creates this environment where those quantum
Yeah.
properties can really shine through.
So it's like creating a super chilled, super efficient environment
Exactly.
where those qubits can do their quantum magic.
Yeah, yeah. And because these circuits are based on well-established microfabrication techniques.
It's relatively easy to scale up the
Okay.
number of qubits, which is crucial for
Yeah.
building more powerful quantum computers.
So there's a lot of potential there.
Yeah.
What about trapped ions? How are they different?
So trapped ion qubits, as the name suggests, use
Okay.
individual atoms that are trapped in place
Okay.
using electromagnetic fields, and then lasers are used to
Yeah.
manipulate the energy levels of those ions,
Okay.
effectively encoding and processing quantum information.
It sounds incredibly precise, almost like manipulating atoms.
It is.
It is
And
lasers.
and one of the advantages of trapped ions
Yeah.
is that they tend to have longer coherence times than
Oh, okay.
superconducting qubits, meaning they can
Yeah.
maintain their quantum states for a longer purity.
Okay, that sounds like a big advantage if you're trying to like
To
perform complex calculations. You want those qubits
want it to stay in their
staying
quantum.
in that state for as long as possible.
Right.
For as long as possible.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
But scaling up trapped ion systems can
Right.
be more challenging, and they can be sensitive
Right.
to external vibrations and magnetic fields,
Right.
which can introduce errors.
So it's a trade-off.
Right.
Longer coherence times,
Right.
but potentially more difficult to scale up.
Exactly.
Okay, now what about those topological qubits?
Yeah, topological qubits.
Sounded particularly.
Yeah, those are definitely the most cutting edge
Okay.
and potentially revolutionary approach.
Okay.
They leverage the strange properties of certain materials
Okay.
that exhibit what we call topological properties.
Okay.
So imagine a donut and a coffee mug.
Okay.
Okay, they seem like very different shapes,
Mm-hmm.
but topologically they're
Yeah.
equivalent because they both have one hole.
So it's about the fundamental structure
Right.
of something rather than its specific shape.
Exactly, yeah. And certain materials have electronic properties that are determined by their topology,
Okay.
making them incredibly robust against disturbances.
So if you can build a qubit based on these topological properties,
Yeah,
it would be much less prone to errors
exactly.
caused by noise and interference.
That's the hope.
Okay.
The challenge is that these materials are
Right.
quite exotic and difficult to work with,
Right.
and the theory behind topological qubits
Yeah.
is still being developed.
So it's like a high-risk, high-reward approach.
Yeah, good way to put it.
If it works, it could be a game changer.
Yeah.
But it's still very early days.
And that's what makes this field so exciting,
Right.
is that there are all these different paths
Yeah.
being explored,
Yeah.
and it's still an open question which one
Right.
will ultimately lead to the most practical and powerful quantum computers.
It's a reminder that we're still in the early stages
We are.
of this quantum revolution.
Yeah.
We've talked about the potential,
Right.
but I think it's important to keep in mind the challenges too. Right.
What are some of the biggest hurdles that researchers are still
So we've already touched on some of them, like
go over?
building larger, more stable quantum computers and
Yeah.
dealing with errors. But another major challenge
Okay.
is something called quantum noise.
Quantum noise, what's that exactly?
So it's essentially any unwanted interaction
Okay.
that can disrupt those delicate quantum states we've been talking about.
Okay.
It can come from vibrations, temperature fluctuations,
Okay.
stray electromagnetic fields, even cosmic rays.
So it's like trying to have a conversation in
Uh-huh.
in a noisy room.
Exactly.
It's hard to hear what's being said when there's so much background noise.
Yeah, and just like in a noisy room,
Right.
quantum noise can make it difficult for the qubits
Right.
to maintain their coherence
Right.
and perform accurate calculations.
So how are scientists trying to combat this quantum noise? Is it even possible to eliminate it completely? Completely eliminating noise is probably impossible,
Okay.
but there are several strategies being developed to mitigate its effects.
Okay.
One approach is to improve the physical design
Okay.
of the qubits and their surrounding environment,
Okay.
essentially trying to make them less susceptible to noise.
So it's like building a soundproof booth for your qubits.
That's one way to think about it.
Okay.
Yeah, another approach is to develop more
Okay.
sophisticated error correction techniques.
Okay.
So just like we have error correction codes for digital data,
Right.
researchers are working on quantum error correction codes
Right.
that can identify and correct errors caused by noise.
So it's a two-pronged attack and reduce the noise and develop ways to like fix the errors it causes.
Yeah, and there's also growing interest in
Okay.
something called fault-tolerant quantum computing,
Okay.
which aims to design quantum computers
Right.
that can function reliably, even in the presence of
Correct.
some degree of noise and error.
That sounds incredibly challenging.
It is a major challenge,
Yeah.
but the progress being made is remarkable.
Yeah.
You know, the ingenuity and dedication
Right.
of the researchers working on these problems is truly inspiring.
Okay, so we've talked about the incredible potential of quantum computing, the
Yeah.
different approaches being taken to build these machines and the significant challenges that need to be overcome.
Right.
But what does all this mean for the average person?
Yeah, that's
How will quantum computing actually impact our lives?
Yeah, and while we're still in the early stages, the potential applications of quantum computing are vast and far-reaching. as we've discussed, it could revolutionize
Yeah.
fields like healthcare, material science, finance, and even cybersecurity.
It's mind-boggling to think about the possibilities,
It is.
but it's also important to acknowledge the potential downsides, right?
Right.
Earlier, we touched on the ethical considerations of quantum computing, like
Right.
the potential for a quantum divide and the need to ensure
Right.
equitable access to this technology. Are there
Yeah.
any other concerns we should be aware of?
One area that's often discussed is the impact on jobs.
Okay.
So as quantum computing matures,
Yeah.
it's possible that some jobs currently performed by humans
Right.
could be automated.
So it's not just a sci-fi fantasy. It's a real possibility that
Yeah.
we need to prepare for.
Yeah.
Are there ways to like mitigate this potential job displacement?
Absolutely. The key is to
Like,
be proactive and adaptable.
okay.
We need to invest in retraining programs
Okay.
to help workers whose jobs are at risk transition to new roles and industries.
Right.
And we need to start thinking now about the kinds of jobs that will be
Right.
in high demand in a quantum-powered world.
So it's about anticipating the changes and equipping people with the skills they need to thrive in a rapidly evolving job market.
Yeah, it's not just about protecting
Sure.
existing jobs. It's
Yeah.
about creating new opportunities.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, and we need to have a broader conversation
Yeah. Huh?
about the future of work and how we can ensure that
Yeah.
everyone benefits from these technological advancements
Yeah.
that are shaping our world.
Okay, now let's shift gears a bit and talk about the history of quantum computing. It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of the present and the potential of the future,
Right.
but I think it's also important to acknowledge the long journey that that led us to this point.
Yeah, the seeds of quantum computing were sown decades ago
Right.
with the development of quantum mechanics in the early 20th century.
Right.
Scientists like Albert Einstein, Niels Bohr, Werner Heisenberg,
Yeah.
they laid the foundation for our understanding of this
Right.
strange and counterintuitive world of quantum phenomena.
It's amazing to think that these groundbreaking ideas, which must have seemed purely theoretical at the time,
Yeah.
are now driving a technological revolution.
It is. And for many years, quantum computing was considered a
Yeah.
purely academic field, with little practical application. But over the past few decades, there's been this
Right.
explosion of research and development driven by the realization of its immense potential.
And that momentum doesn't seem to be slowing down anytime soon.
Not at all.
Yeah, governments and private companies
They're pouring
around the world are pouring billions of dollars.
billions of dollars into quantum research,
Quantum research.
recognizing its strategic importance.
It's almost like a global race to unlock the power of quantum computing.
It is, yeah. And it's not just about national pride. It's about the potential to transform industries,
Right.
create new economies, address some of the world's most pressing challenges.
It's fascinating to see how scientific curiosity and technological innovation
Yeah.
and economic competition are all like converging to drive this quantum revolution forward.
Yeah.
Now let's delve a little deeper into some of the specific areas where quantum computing is expected to have the greatest impact. We've already touched on healthcare and drug discovery, but there are so many other potential applications that are worth exploring.
Yeah, one area that holds immense promise
Yeah.
is material science.
Okay.
Quantum computers could revolutionize the way we design and develop new materials,
Yeah.
leading to breakthroughs.
So imagine being able to create materials that are lighter, stronger,
Exactly.
more durable, more efficient.
Yeah.
It could lead to a whole new era of technological innovation.
It really could.
Yeah.
For example, quantum computers could help us design
Yeah.
more efficient solar panels
Yeah.
that capture a greater percentage of the sun's energy,
Right.
leading to a significant reduction in our reliance on fossil fuels.
That would be a game changer in the fight against climate change.
It would.
What other material science applications are on the horizon?
Another exciting possibility is the development of new types of batteries
Okay.
that store more energy and charge faster.
Okay.
This could revolutionize electric vehicles,
Right.
making them more practical and affordable
Right.
for the average consumer.
So from powering our homes to driving our cars,
Yeah.
quantum computing could have a profound impact on our energy infrastructure.
It could.
What about other areas? You mentioned aerospace engineering.
Right, right. Quantum computers could also help us design
Yeah.
lighter and stronger materials for aircraft, spacecraft, and other vehicles,
Right.
making them more fuel efficient
Right.
and reducing their environmental impact.
It's incredible to think that from the smallest molecules to the largest structures, quantum computing has the potential to like revolutionize
Yeah.
material science at every scale.
It really does.
Uh-huh.
It's a truly transformative field
Yeah.
with the potential to reshape the world as we know it.
Okay, let's shift our attention to the financial world.
Sure.
We've briefly mentioned the potential for quantum computers to improve
Right.
financial modeling, but I'd love to hear more about that.
Yeah, so one of the key challenges in finance is
Yeah.
managing risk.
Okay.
Financial institutions need to assess the likelihood of various
Right.
events from market crashes to natural disasters
Right.
in order to make informed investment decisions.
Okay.
And quantum computers could help them do this
Okay.
with far greater accuracy and speed.
So it's not exactly a crystal ball, but it could
Yeah.
give financial analysts a much clearer picture of
It's-
potential risks and
By-
opportunities.
Yeah, by analyzing vast amounts of data
Right.
and identifying patterns
Right.
that might not be visible
Yeah.
to human analysts.
Mhm.
Quantum computers could revolutionize
Right. Yeah.
risk assessment and portfolio management.
What about investment strategies? Could quantum computers help us make
Absolutely.
better investment decisions?
Yeah, quantum algorithms could be used
Okay.
to optimize investment portfolios,
Yeah.
taking into account a wide range of factors,
Right.
such as risk tolerance, market conditions,
Yeah.
individual financial goals.
So instead of relying on like gut feeling or traditional models, we could have much more sophisticated
Exactly.
and personalized investment strategies.
That's the idea. And it's not just about
Wow.
individual investors.
Okay.
Quantum computers could also help
Right?
hedge funds, pension funds, and other large
Okay.
financial institutions manage their assets more
Right.
effectively.
It sounds like quantum computing could shake up the financial industry in a big way. Now let's turn our attention to cybersecurity. Another area where we've touched on the potential impact of quantum computers. We've talked about how quantum computers could break existing encryption methods,
Blair.
but what are the implications for our online security?
So as we've discussed, much of our online security relies on the difficulty of factoring large numbers.
Right.
Classical computers struggle with this task, but quantum computers
Right.
could potentially crack these codes
Right.
with ease.
So all our sensitive data from bank accounts to medical records could be
It's definitely
a serious concern.
that's a scary
The
thought.
cybersecurity community
Yeah.
is working hard to develop
Okay.
quantum-resistant encryption methods.
So it's a race against time.
Yeah.
We need to develop new security protocols before quantum computers become
Yeah.
powerful enough to break existing ones.
And it's not just about protecting our data from being stolen.
Right. Quantum computers could also be used to
Right.
launch sophisticated cyber attacks that are far more difficult to defend against than traditional attacks.
So it's a double-edged sword. Quantum computing could both weaken our existing defenses and create new threats that we're not yet prepared for.
Yeah, it's crucial that we invest in quantum cybersecurity
Right.
research and development to really stay ahead of the curve.
It sounds like a whole new frontier
It is.
in the world of cybersecurity.
Yeah.
Now let's shift gears again and talk about some of the more speculative applications of quantum computing. One area that's often mentioned is artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
Could quantum computers lead to the development of truly intelligent machines?
It's certainly a possibility.
Okay.
Quantum computers could be used
Yeah.
to train and run AI algorithms far more efficiently
Okay.
than classical computers, potentially leading to breakthroughs in machine learning
Okay.
and other areas of AI research.
So we could see AI systems that are not only faster and more powerful, but also more capable of learning
That's the hope. But, it's important to note that
and adapting to new information.
we're still in the very early stages of understanding how
Right.
quantum computing could be applied to AI.
Okay.
There are many challenges to overcome,
Right.
and it's not yet clear what the full potential of quantum AI might be.
It's an exciting area of research and one that's sure to generate a lot of
It is.
and discussion in the years to come.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here, from the potential to revolutionize
We have
healthcare and material science, to the possibility of creating unbreakable encryption and super intelligent AI.
Scratch the surface.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's clear that quantum computing has the potential to revolutionize countless aspects of our lives, but with this great power comes great responsibility.
Absolutely.
We need to approach this technology with a thoughtful and ethical mindset, ensuring that it's used for the benefit.
I couldn't agree more. The quantum future is full of promise and peril.
Right.
And it's up to all of us to navigate it wisely.
Now let's step back for a moment and consider the broader implications of quantum computing for society as a whole.
Yeah.
We've talked about the potential for economic disruption,
right,
the need for workforce retraining, the ethical considerations surrounding access to this technology, but there are also some deeper philosophical questions that I think we need to grapple with.
Yeah, one question that often arises is whether quantum computing will change our understanding of the nature of reality.
Okay.
After all, quantum mechanics challenges many of our classical intuitions about how the world works.
It's definitely mind-bending stuff. Like the idea that particles can be in multiple states at once.
Yeah.
That they can be entangled across vast distances.
Right.
That the act of observation can influence the outcome of an experiment.
Yeah.
It all seems to defy common sense.
It does, and some philosophers and physicists believe that quantum computing could provide new insights into the fundamental nature of reality.
Okay.
Perhaps even challenging our understanding of concepts like causality and determinism.
So it's not just about building better computers. It's about potentially changing our worldview.
Yeah, of course, these are complex philosophical questions that have been debated for decades.
Yeah.
But quantum computing could provide new tools and perspectives that could shed light on these age-old mysteries.
It's a fascinating thought.
It is.
And it highlights the fact that quantum computing is not just a technological revolution.
Absolutely.
It's also a cultural...
Yeah, it has the potential to change...
an intellectual one.
Not only how we live, but also how we think about the world.
Right.
And our place in it.
Okay, now let's turn our attention to the future of quantum computing.
Yeah.
We've talked about the challenges that need to be overcome, the potential applications that are on the horizon, and the broader societal implications of this technology.
Right.
But what does the road ahead look like? What are the key milestones that we should be watching for?
One important milestone will be the development of fault-tolerant quantum computers.
Okay.
As we've discussed, current quantum computers are prone to errors, which limits their practicality.
Right.
But once we can build machines that can reliably perform calculations, despite the presence of some degree of noise, it will open up a whole new range of possibilities.
It's like crossing a threshold from experimental systems to truly useful machines.
Yeah. Another key milestone will be the development of quantum algorithms that can solve problems that are currently intractable for classical computers.
Right.
We've talked about some examples like factoring large numbers and simulating quantum systems.
Right.
But there are many other potential applications out there waiting to be discovered.
It seems like the potential of quantum computing is really tied to our ability to come up with clever new algorithms.
Yeah, it's not just about the hardware. It's about the software too.
Right, and this is where the real innovation will happen as more and more researchers and developers turn their attention to quantum computing.
Right.
We're likely to see an explosion of new algorithms and applications that we can't even imagine today.
Yeah. It really does feel like we're just at the beginning of something truly extraordinary.
It does.
Yeah, the quantum future is bright, and I'm incredibly excited to see what wonders it holds.
You know, it is amazing to think about how far we've come with quantum computing in such a short time.
It is.
But as with any powerful technology,
Right.
there are ethical considerations that we can't ignore.
Absolutely. It's not enough to simply marvel at the possibilities.
Right.
We have to grapple with the potential downsides and ensure that quantum computing is used responsibly.
One concern that I keep coming back to is the potential for a quantum divide.
Yeah.
You know, if this technology is so expensive and complex, won't it only be accessible to a select few?
It's a valid concern, and one that we need to address proactively.
Right.
You know, if access to quantum computing is concentrated in the hands of a few, it could exacerbate existing inequalities and create new ones.
I can see how that could happen. Imagine a world where only certain countries or companies have the resources to develop and utilize quantum technologies. It could create a whole new set of geopolitical and economic divisions.
Precisely. It's not just about technological advancement. It's about ensuring that the benefits of that advancement are shared broadly and equitably.
So how do we prevent that from happening? How do we ensure that quantum computing doesn't just become another tool for the powerful to consolidate their dominance?
Well, there are a number of things we can do.
Okay.
One important step is to invest in open source quantum computing platforms and initiatives.
Okay.
So by making the underlying technology and software tools freely available, we can lower the barrier to entry and empower a wider range of people to contribute to the field.
So it's about fostering collaboration and sharing knowledge.
Yeah, we need to create a global ecosystem.
Rather than hoarding it behind closed doors.
Where researchers, developers, and entrepreneurs from all over the world can collaborate and innovate together.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But access to technology is only part of the equation.
Right.
We also need to make sure that people have the skills.
You're absolutely right. Investing in education.
And knowledge to actually use that technology.
The training programs is crucial.
Effectively.
And I'm not just talking about scientists and engineers.
Right.
We need to educate policymakers, business leaders, and the general public. About the potential and the implications of quantum computing.
It's about ensuring that everyone has the opportunity to understand and participate in this technological revolution, not just a select few.
Yeah.
Now, another ethical concern that I often hear about is the potential for job displacement.
Yeah.
You know, if quantum computers can perform tasks
that currently require human intelligence.
Right.
What happens to the people whose jobs are automated?
It's a legitimate concern and one that we need to take seriously. As with any disruptive technology, quantum computing has the potential to automate certain tasks and roles, potentially leading to job displacement in some sectors.
So it's not just a science fiction fantasy. It's a real possibility.
It is.
That we need to prepare for.
Yeah.
Are there ways to mitigate this potential job displacement?
Absolutely. The key is to be proactive and adaptable.
Okay.
We need to invest in retraining programs to help workers whose jobs are at risk transition to new roles and industries.
Right.
And we need to start thinking now about the kinds of jobs that will be in high demand in a quantum-powered world.
So it's about anticipating the changes.
Exactly.
And equipping people with the skills.
Yeah. They need to thrive in a rapidly evolving job market.
It's not just about protecting existing jobs.
Right.
It's about creating new opportunities.
Right. And we need to have a broader conversation.
We need to have a broader conversation.
About the future of work.
About the future of work and how we can ensure...
And how we can ensure that everyone benefits from...
That everyone benefits from that.
The technological advancement.
Just from the technological advancements that are shaping our world.
Yeah. Okay, now let's shift gears for a moment and explore some of the more speculative applications of quantum computing, the ones that are still largely in the realm of science fiction, but hold incredible potential.
Yeah, one area that captures the imagination is the possibility of quantum teleportation.
Wait, hold on. Yeah. Are we talking about beaming people up in Star Trek?
Not quite.
Okay.
Quantum teleportation isn't about physically transporting matter.
Okay.
Instead, it's about transferring quantum information,
Okay.
the state of a qubit,
Okay.
from one location to another instantaneously.
So it's not about teleporting a physical object, but rather the information that describes that object.
Think of it like sending a blueprint for a house.
Okay.
Rather than sending the house itself.
Okay.
And while we're still a long way from teleporting objects or people,
Right.
quantum teleportation has the potential to revolutionize
Okay.
communication and computing.
I can see how that would be incredibly useful.
Yeah.
What other kind of mind-bending possibilities are there?
Another area that's generating a lot of excitement is quantum cryptography.
Okay.
So we've talked about how quantum computers could break existing encryption methods.
Right.
But they could also be used to create new forms of encryption that are theoretically unbreakable.
So it's a double-edged sword, as we've discussed before.
Exactly.
Quantum computers could both pose a threat to our current security systems,
Right.
and provide the tools to build new, more secure systems.
Precisely. Quantum cryptography exploits the principles of quantum mechanics to create encryption keys that are impossible to intercept or copy without being detected.
Wow.
This could revolutionize data security
Right.
and protect our most sensitive information from prying eyes.
It sounds like the ultimate shield in the ongoing battle for online security.
Yeah.
What other speculative applications are on the horizon?
Another intriguing possibility is the development of quantum sensors.
What?
So these devices could exploit the sensitivity
Yeah.
of quantum systems to detect minute changes in their environment, with applications ranging from medical imaging to environmental monitoring.
So we could have sensors that are far more sensitive and precise than anything we have today.
Yeah, I can see how that would be transformative.
I can see how that would be transformative in so many fields.
In so many fields.
Yeah, and these are just a few examples of the potential applications of quantum computing that we're only beginning to explore.
Oh, hey, exactly.
As the field advances, we're likely to see even more mind-blowing possibilities emerge.
Absolutely.
It's clear that quantum computing has the potential to revolutionize countless aspects of our lives, from the way we communicate to the way we understand the universe.
Yeah.
But as we've discussed throughout this deep dive, it's crucial that we approach this technology with a thoughtful and ethical mindset.
I couldn't agree more. The quantum future is full of promise and challenges, and it's up to all of us to shape that future in a way that benefits all of humanity.
Well, that brings us to the end of our deep dive into the world of quantum computing. We've covered a lot of ground today, exploring everything from the fundamental principles to the potential applications to the ethical considerations.
Right.
It's a complex and rapidly evolving field.
It is.
But I hope this deep dive has given you a better understanding
I think so too.
Of the incredible potential of this technology and the challenges we face in harnessing that potential responsibly.
It's been a fascinating conversation. I've enjoyed exploring these ideas with you.
Me too.
I'm confident that the coming years will bring even more exciting breakthroughs and discoveries in the field of quantum computing.
To our listener, thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you.
On this journey into the quantum realm. We encourage you to continue exploring this
keep learning.
Fascinating topic, and to engage in the ongoing conversation about how we can shape the quantum future for the benefit of all humankind.
It's going to be an exciting ride.
It's a future that promises to be as mind-boggling as the quantum world itself.
Yeah. Thanks for listening to The Deep Dive.